Hello, I'm Adam Liaw and welcome to The Cook Up, the show where contestants must choose from 26 briefcases containing different sums of money. Tonight, we are making tomato tartine with anchovy and caper vinaigrette, oysters with salted cream and charred pea salad, and grilled mango and passion fruit cheesecakes. Let's meet our guests. Restaurant Botanic's executive chef Justin James is driven by native Australian produce, fermentation and cooking over fire. He's also vegetable mad and says he gets more excited about onions than about Wagyu. Hello, Justin.
Hey, Adam.
Bold flex. Ashley Voller's food is as bright as the orange shipping container that serves as her kitchen in Brunswick. The owner and chef of Voller Foods is putting Cameroonian food on the map here in Australia. Welcome, Ashley.
Hi, Adam.
Cameroonian food, can you, give me the three words that describe it?
Oh, beautiful, bold and colourful.
Oh, three wonderful words. This is the cuisine that you grew up eating, and what do you find people's reaction is when they try it for the first time? Because I'm pretty sure that a lot of people who are coming to eat at Voller Foods are trying it for the first time.
It's just something you've never had before.
Yeah.
It's bold, like the flavours are completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just get, wow, what is this?
Good reaction. Yeah. Justin, you get the same reaction to your food at Restaurant Botanic?
Absolutely.
I mean, you're both in the wow business, I think. You know, you're trying to show people things that they haven't seen before and improve their lives by doing that.
Yeah. We say what we do is really important, just to celebrate life.
Yeah. Okay, I want to talk about your restaurant a bit more, but let's find out what we're cooking first. Tonight is the food equivalent of a double rainbow because we are cooking with nature's finest. Justin, you're in the middle of the Adelaide Botanic Gardens. You don't have a kitchen garden, you have a botanic garden that you source ingredients from.
That's right.
What's that like?
It's actually very challenging because there's over 400 ingredients we use throughout the entire year. But they're not being grown to be consumed, but there's a lot of things that you can eat. Yeah. So we actually have to battle against the fruit bats, the swooping magpies. You know, they're not putting nets over the peaches. So we have to pick them when they're young and green and sour and bitter. So it makes us think differently about the peach.
So it's not even horticulture. I mean, it's not farming, it's horticulture. It's gardening, essentially, what you're sourcing from.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. Ashley, ingredients are so important to cooking. When you're cooking cuisine of another place, in a different place, how much do you have to adapt Cameroonian recipes here in Australia?
Honestly, I'm so blessed to lived half my life in Cameroon and half my life in Australia. Because I've got to a point where I can unite, and that's exactly what I do. We just cook from the heart. We just put our heart on the plate. That's all we do.
I love it. Well, I'm going to make something, maybe not a heart on a plate, but I'm going to put onto my plate a tomato tartine with anchovy and caper vinaigrette. Tartine, essentially an open sandwich. So I'm putting some tomatoes on bread. So glad you tuned into this cooking show.
Sounds pretty good to me.
But I think when you have good ingredients, it's just about kind of getting out of the way of them. You know, you can do a lot to it if you want to, but I think ingredients taste good kind of as they are. And tomatoes are one that I am constantly looking forward to in terms of ingredients. Like it's the difference between a tomato in season and one that is not in season is the different ingredients, you know, like they're just, to me, there's no point in trying to force an out-of-season tomato and make it taste good. I'm going to use a combination of olive oil and butter here entirely for flavour. None of this kind of like, the olive oil's going to stop the butter from burning, not even true, not even close to true. Butter solids will burn at the temperature the butter solids burn, regardless of whether or not olive oil is next to it or not. I do quite like the flavour of olive oil and butter together, but it's not essentially, you know, I could do this just with olive oil if I wanted to, you know. Ashley, when you first came to Australia, what were your impressions of Australian food?
Oh, it was a shock, I have to say, because we came from like cooking outside in a fire to cooking inside on a stove.
Yeah, right.
So it was just a new experience, new culture, new everything. Shock. Is the right word.
So with my tartine, I'm also going to grill some lettuce. I think we're attuned to the crunch of lettuce and people look forward to the crunch of lettuce, but I love cooking lettuce all the time. I stir fry iceberg lettuce. I'll drizzle these little gems with a bit of olive oil and cook them in a pan. I'm also going to put some olive oil in here to fry some capers.
It's going to be my first time eating cooked lettuce.
First time eating cooked lettuce? Well, you're in for a treat, young lady. I just think lettuce has, we're always like, lettuce has no flavour because it's so high in water content. Lettuce does have a really nice flavour and you can actually bring that flavour out when you cook it a bit. Wow. And particularly, I actually like the texture as well, particularly in stir-frying. Iceberg lettuce takes on this kind of silky texture, but still has crunch to it, you know?
I think iceberg is underrated. It's one of my favorite lettuces.
Yeah, I think it's just because everyone tried iceberg first. It was like, oh, there's all these other lettuces to move on to. And then we forgot how good iceberg was.
Yeah.
All right, those capers are just going to crisp very loudly over there.
Yeah.
I'm going to start cooking my bread. And I'm going to slice these tomatoes. Justin, is there anything in the restaurant that I guess you think that you look forward to as an ingredient more than anything else?
Yeah, I mean, tomatoes is one. You nailed it earlier.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even put tomatoes on my burger unless it's during summer.
Wow, okay.
It's extreme. But yeah, I think every season has something something that I look forward to. Right now, springtime, asparagus. Absolutely stunning. Peas. That's why I'm cooking peas later.
Yeah, great.
Cherries in the summer.
Do you have cherries in the garden?
We have a little bit of like bush cherries.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's not like a regular cherry by any means, but yeah.
I'm going to turn my heat down a bit here because I want to get some anchovies in there for my vinaigrette that's going to go on here. And the anchovies are just going to kind of melt. I could put just pieces of anchovy on top of the tomato, which is delicious, but I'm just not going to do that. And actually, I can turn the heat off that now. That'll do its thing, and I'll freshen that up with a bit of vinegar and lemon juice once that cools down a bit. I don't want to cook too much of the acidity out of those things, so I'll add that a little bit later. Bread into my pan. I got to say, I haven't left myself a lot of room for my lettuce, but I'm going to put that on anyway. And I'll increase the heat on that. So tomatoes, I've got a mix of tomatoes here, mix of colours, mix of shapes. Because I think when you're making something very simple, like a tomato sandwich, without even putting a top on the sandwich, you're going to need to give someone another reason to love it, you know? Whereas it's like, oh, Adam just made a tomato sandwich. No, he made the best tomato sandwich and it was so beautiful to look at. That's the reaction I'm going for. In coming to Australia, Justin, what were your impressions of the Australian food scene when you arrived?
Coming from the States, like, our junk food game's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I would say. But, you know, it's those little things like, you know, a burger or a pizza is probably like, wow, that's not what I'm used to. A New York slice is just something, you know, that I just still can't find. Which hurts me a little bit.
My bread is off the pan. And I did this on a pan rather than on a grill, but I just wanted more consistent colour. So I'm going to start to lay out my tomatoes on. Not going too crazy here. And then just get some of these guys on the top too. You don't have to do a lot to a tomato to make it taste good, other than apply salt to it. You know, to me, I've even salted this a little bit too late. You probably even want to salt them a little bit more ahead of time. So I'll just not go too crazy with the salt because my dressing is going to be slightly salty with all the anchovy and thing that's gone in there. I can probably add some of my red wine vinegar now and a little squeeze of lemon too. That can probably go onto a plate now. And I'll start to chop some herbs. Favourite new food discovery since coming to Australia? Justin, go.
Whew. There's so many. I mean, but right off the top of my head, green ants.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely love green ants.
I thought you were going to say like red rooster, but no, you're going for native ingredients. Okay, sure.
Yeah, green ants is a new fast food joint, actually. It's like red rooster, but...
Another underrated ingredient, I think, much maligned, is curly parsley. It gets a bad rap, and I'm not really sure why, but I think it's a lovely ingredient. So, a little bit of my vinaigrette on top. I'm going to be quite generous with it too, because there was a bit of butter on there, but still not really enough to moisten all of that bread, because it's a big old doorstop of bread that we got there. Just some nice dill and that curly parsley. And I'll just finish that with a few of these crispy capers on the top there. It's just a sandwich, but it's a nice one. Tomato tartine with an anchovy vinaigrette. I do think we tend to overcomplicate food more than it needs to be. Like, ingredients taste good. You don't need to do too much to them.
first time eating cooked lettuce. From now on, I'm cooking lettuce.
It's not bad, right?
It's definitely a thing. Cooked lettuce.
Now, if you wanted to make this in a slightly easier way, you would just butter some bread, you would put some tomatoes on top of it, and just put an anchovy on top of that and just eat that.
Yeah.
But if you want to make it slightly fancier...
The anchovies, just like a umami bomb to anything.
I think when you get those two sources of umami together, whether it's like tomatoes and anchovies or tomatoes and parmesan cheese, like 1 + 1 = 3. After the break, Justin and Ashley make their finest food with nature's finest ingredients. Tonight on The Cook Up, we are celebrating nature's finest, prime produce cooked to perfection by chefs Justin James and Ashley Voller. Ashley, what are you making?
So I'm going to make grilled mango and passion fruit cheesecake.
Beautiful. And Justin?
I'm making oysters with a charred pea salad, a little bit of salted cream.
Two very different dishes, but both sound delicious. All right, Justin. Oysters, right? They are a wonderful ingredient, and I don't mind like doing more stuff to an oyster. You know, like, sure, I could pick up that oyster, eat it right now, it'd be delicious. But I don't mind when you just do more stuff to it. What are we doing to these ones?
This dish is not going to be an oyster. What you just sit there and slurp them back.
Yeah.
You're going to eat it with a little spoon.
Okay.
So we have a little sorrel here, one of my favorite ingredients, very sour leaf.
Sorrel is a beautiful ingredient. I wish it was more readily available because it's, I don't know, it's like sour spinach.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. And so that's just a little base that's going to go onto the oyster when we get ready to plate them. And to go with that, we have peas. And so these have been double potted, which means we took them out of the big pot, and then we blanched them for 45 seconds, and then we have the pea itself.
Yeah.
But the double pod is when you basically take the small membrane off, and you peel it.
This is the kind of thing that executive chefs love and junior chefs absolutely detest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you got all your young chefs now double potting peas. That's hard work.
Absolutely. This is on the menu right now. It takes about 1 hour with 3 to 4 chefs to do 1.2 kilos is what we need for a service.
All right, so after you've got your young chefs to get RSI by potting all these peas, that's what we end up with.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You don't have to pot them, but potting brings more sweetness out. There's a little bit of bitterness in that shell.
Okay.
And
the texture is different too.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the next thing I was going to say. So I always say use the maurice or rubber spatula when it comes to this, because you want every pea.
Yeah.
You can do this.
Put the work in, you may as well reap the rewards.
Yes. Now you could do this over like a wood fire or a barbecue with a little basket, but also you could do it just in a pan with a blood torch. Just a little bit of grapeseed oil. Neutral taste and also high smoke point.
And it's got a different texture to other vegetable oils, I think. Like I use it often in salad dressings because it just doesn't feel as oily in the mouth as a regular vegetable oil to me. I don't know what the science is behind that, but it just doesn't feel.
I totally agree. A little bit lighter.
Yeah.
As always, just a little salt, season it up.
Yeah.
And now we get a torch. And before you start doing this, get an ice bath ready to go.
Right.
Which is just some water, some ice, 2 bowls.
Great.
Because these have already been blanched.
Yeah.
So we don't want to cook them anymore. We're just trying to get a little char.
Wow, this is cool. And so this is bringing like a charry flavor to the pea.
Yeah, this is taking that next level. And once you start to see them all kind of, you can smell that as well.
Yeah, wow. They've actually changed colour as well. Not just turn black from the charring, but also the greenness has come out. They're a little sweeter than they would be before, I imagine.
Absolutely. And right when they go in the ice bath, I like to just give it another little mix.
Yeah.
And kind of chill that down right away.
Okay. I can't wait to see what else blows my mind on this dish. Ashley.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm very well.
That's good.
Mango, cheesecake. Yes. You're listing my favourite things. Well, I'm listing my favourite things because,
I guess we have that in common, which is amazing. Mango in season.
Yeah.
What can go wrong?
Nothing.
There we go. So, just get that really hot. Oh, that's
laundry bills. A lot of mango down the front.
Yes.
Mango season.
And my restaurant is like orange, so African sunset.
Okay.
And that's just what I'm all about. I love orange. Anything like colourful, it's me.
Brilliant. So how does a cheesecake work?
It is so simple.
Yep.
Like you said before, simple, fresh.
Yes.
Delicious.
And this is a non-cooked cheesecake.
Exactly.
Right?
Do it with the kids, have fun with the family.
Beautiful.
That's just the cream cheese. I'm going to get the cream cheese and the sugar in here.
Gosh, it smells amazing. You got the mangoes, you got the passion fruit, you got mint. All these fragrant things.
So easy. And then, yeah, that's happening. I've just, like, whisked a bit of cream.
Okay, so...
Which is like my setting lotion.
Okay.
No jelly needed as well.
Yep.
And yeah, just get it on high.
I just think thickened cream is such a great ingredient because it's got that little bit of gelatin in it. It helps, you said, it helps thicken sauces, does lots and lots of good things, just that tiny little bit of gelatin. I'm a big gelatin fan.
That is doing this thing. It's looking good.
Okay, so the ingredients of this is layered into a cup. So it's going to be grilled mango, it's going to be passion fruit, it's going to be that guy.
Creaminess, deliciousness. And I'm going to throw some vanilla in there. And also, it's so important to, like, scrape the bowls when you're doing this just to get all the ingredients really combined.
And so this is really just cream cheese,
yeah,
sugar, and whipped cream that's being mixed together.
Exactly. The hero in this is the fresh fruit, and that's what we really want.
Beautiful. And you're going to fold the cream into that?
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you.
So simple.
Justin. What's up, Adam?
Whipped cream.
Absolutely.
Okay, so oysters with cream.
Yes.
That's kind of a classic combination, right?
Absolutely.
I think there's so many of the classic combinations, you can kind of see them replicated in more modern dishes. Oysters and cream.
Absolutely.
It's not a carpet bag steak, but you know.
So just whip that a little bit, just to give a little viscosity to it. And then we're going to do a little bit of herb work, I would say.
Okay.
So we have some chives.
Yes.
And we're just going to use the stem of the parsley.
What?
Yeah. And since we have some sorrel stem here as well, we'll put a little bit of that in too.
Stems, okay.
Yeah, instead of, there's only so much stem work can go into chicken stock, so let's switch it up. Now with the chives, make sure the chives are dry, not chopping too many at once, and just kind of starting even.
Yeah.
I usually will wrap these with a little tea towel or something at the restaurant.
Dry is a good tip because I race into it and I like wash the chives, I put them on board, start cutting them, and now they're all stuck together.
They stick together, absolutely. You shouldn't see any green on the chopping board.
Okay.
Absolutely. So yeah, just a nice little motion.
So what are we doing with the oysters?
So
they're not going to be just a whole oyster.
No. So they've been shucked, and I always like to turn them around as well.
Yeah.
And these are big boys too. So I've decided to go with the Pacific oyster.
I like Pacifics.
And a little different to the Sydney Rocks.
Very much so.
But both good, because oysters are amazing. So just nice 3 slices, something that you can get onto the spoon.
I've literally never sliced an oyster in my life, so it's great to see.
I just put it right back in the shell.
How it was before?
Yep.
Wow, I literally never opened up sliced into an oyster, and I'm interested to see what it's like.
So
fantastic. Okay.
We'll knock those out, and then the parsley stem, sorrel stem, I'm gonna do the same size. And once I do these, I'll...
And is this like a sprinkly-on-y kind of garnish?
We're gonna mix the peas together with all these stems, just to give it a little bit of that herbaceous kind of fresh flavor.
Pretty fancy. Okay, Ashley, so the cream cheese is whipped, the cream is going into that.
Yep, and I'm just gonna quickly fold this in. I might just use the whisk to make it a bit, but just go gentle, a bit easier.
Who was it that taught you how to cook?
My mum and my grandmother are my biggest motivation in life.
Yeah.
We just eat by taste. So my mum and my grandmother. Yeah, they were the head chef, and I was like
the helper.
Yeah, and growing up as a child, I feel like the earlier you start, the better your life will be later on in the future anyway, is what I think.
I always say that about cooking as well, The sooner you learn how to cook, the better you'll eat for the rest of your life, if you learn to cook as a teenager, then you've got an entire life of good food ahead of you. You learn to cook in your 60s, 70s, it's never too late,
Yep, exactly.
But I don't know, I just like eating good food.
Me too. Do you cook with your kids?
I do.
Oh, that's amazing. What's your favourite thing to cook? I know I'm putting it about you, but
they're still in the cakes phase, so something like this, I'll do this with them, that'll be great.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So when that mixed together, how do we get it into the glass?
So I'm just going to get this. I've just got a piping bag.
Ah, piping bag.
Just put it in the piping bag to make our life easier. I've got a glass.
Yeah.
So all you pretty much have to do, and this is definitely going to be fun with the kids.
Yes.
Here we go. So I've just got a piping bag. Start with that. Thanking you. Just a little bit on the cup, at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then mango, I also did a little bit
The chagra mango looks fantastic.
Thank you. And I'm just happy, the smell. It also has that smoky flavour to it, which I really, really love. Just spread it around, making it a little bit fancy.
And then we're just sort of layering this up with
exactly, that's what we're doing.
Mango, cream, cheese, passion fruit, nuts as well.
Nuts as well for crunch. I mean, the passion fruit has really got crunch as well in it, which is amazing.
Yeah,
and that's all.
Fantastic.
Spread it a little bit out and just get going.
I love it. When we return, it's a big thank you to Mother Nature and to Justin and Ashley as well. Plus, we'll all share the seasonal ingredients that we most look forward to. Welcome back to The Cook Up. Tonight we have gathered two top chefs, Justin James and Ashley Voller, and asked them to showcase nature's finest ingredients. Ashley, how's it going?
Amazing.
Okay. And Justin, how is it going for you?
It's going great.
Yeah, nice. Okay, oysters, cream. This is literally just whipped cream, but instead of sugar, you put salt in it.
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
And that way it's just going to give that fattiness, some richness, saltiness as well. This is the finished pea salad.
Okay, and you put a little bit more grapeseed oil in there, or?
It's parsley oil.
Parsley oil, okay.
And lemon aspen juice.
Wow.
And some lemon juice and those herbs that we diced up.
Fantastic.
A little bit of sorrel.
Wow.
And we'll just put a little bit of these native basil leaves on as well. You just throw them on.
What a gorgeous looking oyster.
And that's it.
Very restaurant botanic.
Absolutely.
Almost done.
That looks gorgeous.
Thank you so much. I'm just doing the finished touches. Just a few nuts in here and some mint.
The thing I love is like really celebrating the mango. Like it's hard to beat a mango, you know, as it is. But when you want to do something a little fancy to it, that's amazing.
Welcome to my African sunset.
Oysters with salted cream and charred pea salad, and an African sunset, grilled mango and passion fruit cheesecake. How do you even come up with something like this, Justin? It's just... Wow, that's delicious. The cream and the creaminess of the oyster is actually such a... I mean, that's a combination for a reason, right? Like, you're tasting it, oh, it makes sense again, yeah.
Texture to me, like, doesn't need to be, like, creamy with, like, crispy on it. Like, you can have soft textures on top of each other like that, but they're very textural at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and everything's just so good balance, and that lemon as well. Oh, I'm in heaven.
Let's move to the dessert. I think it was really clever, actually, to char grill the mango just to bring out that flavour. I mean, you could go totally raw, totally fresh with it as well, couldn't you? But
Definitely.
The char grill mango
Looks epic.
just adds another element. Wow. To be honest, I didn't appreciate how much work the peanut was doing. Because the peanut's actually a really nice nutty taste to it, rather than just the texture of it in there, which is great too. But the nutty taste of the peanut is great.
Yeah, and it's not too sweet. And that's what I love, because I'm not a sweet tooth person.
Highest compliment an Asian person can give to a dessert is to just say, not too sweet. Just how we roll.
Thank you.
Well, two wonderful uses of nature's finest ingredients. So I've asked each of you to nominate an ingredient that you look forward to as it comes into season each year. Ashley, I know which one you have chosen. What is it about mangoes that, I mean, other than the fact that you can make something like this, that makes you excited for when they come into season?
It's so versatile. You can cook with it, you can eat it, you can have it when it's not ready in a salad, and you can just eat it as it is. This is my childhood, really. We just had a mango tree in front of my house.
Yeah.
And, like, Grandma eats it first, and then the rest for the kids. So the first ripe one goes to Grandma, and then the rest goes to the kids.
Justin, these guys.
Yeah.
You kind of know that spring is sprung when they're in the shops.
Absolutely. It just comes around for, 4 to 6 weeks every year. You get really excited about cooking it. I mean, you can buy it all year long now from Peru. But
honestly, I just don't like that you can do that. Nothing against South American ingredients. Like, the quality is fine and everything, but I just like that we can look forward to something coming out rather than just like, oh, we're just going to get asparagus. Like, that anticipation is actually really important, I think.
Yeah.
Stone fruit is something I love when it comes into season in summer, but the thing that I probably look the most forward to, and the reason it's not in this place because we couldn't get it because it's not in season right now, is I think we call them sumo mandarins here, but I used to look forward to that all the time, and I still do look forward to it, and I look forward to it each day as well because I'll eat one per day. After like the kids have gone to bed and everything, I'm just there, I'll sit on the couch and I'll eat one, and like to me that's a really nice seasonal thing, but also just a really nice moment of each day as well.
Yeah.
Well, I have really enjoyed celebrating nature's finest ingredients with you. Ashley, Justin, thank you for joining me in the kitchen.
Thanks for having us.
Shout out to Mother Nature for giving us the goods tonight. If you want more of The Cook Up and more delicious food ideas, head to SBS On Demand. I'm Adam Liaw. Thanks for watching The Cook Up.